It's Henry Clark here and Henry Clark's channel. So today I want to talk to you guys about, is 60 too old to record, like in your 60s? Well, I'm in my 60s and I still record. Now, there's a difference, okay? Just so you know, you got to set realistic expectations because one of the things about it is that as you get into your 60s, let's be honest, you're not going to be a pop star. Right? Just ain't gonna happen. I think American Idol is like you gotta be like 35 as the oldest contestant. So you gotta define what your genre is and what your audience is. But there's no reason why you can't still make music while you're in your 60s. As far as recording goes, I think everybody should record themselves, yeah. And one reason why I think you want to record yourself is so that you can kind of sound so you can hear how bad you sound sometimes. Because believe me, no matter who you are, sometimes it just doesn't go that well. You know what I mean? But you can really, really have fun. And again, there is absolutely no reason to stop recording when you're in your 60s. Again, I'm over 60, and I think one of the high points of my limited recording career is that I just got picked up over the last couple of years on Pandora. And of course, I'm on Spotify and Amazon and a couple of other platforms. And we'll talk about that later as far as how you can get on some of those platforms. But yes, if you're in your 60s, you got to go for it, man. You just got to go for it. But there's another thing about it, though. Again, you have to have realistic expectations. And I mean that seriously because you know what we see? We see people like, oh, Hall and Oates, Mick Jagger, AC/DC. We see all those type of groups, right? And we go, man, it's like I was looking at something the other night on PBS, and it was Hall and Oates, right? Daryl Hall was up there. Great, sounds great. Daryl Hall's great. But the guy was like 71. Well, I think one of the things you got to come to terms with is that even though he's 71, they haven't had a hit in 30 years. And a lot of the older guys that you see out there, when people say, yeah, man, you can make it go, go, go. Yeah, you can if you had an audience back in the 70s and in the 80s because you've got name recognition. They have name recognition. They have hits out there that will never, ever get old. And more power to them that they're still out there doing it because, a lot of guys out there, they ain't doing anything these days. But I think you really should go for it and do something. Again, I do a lot. Um, I self-produce, and you can self-produce yourself. There are outlets that you can actually get your music out on. Outlets like CD Baby, outlets like TuneCore, SoundCloud, where you can actually get your music out there now. They do distribution for you, but they don't do marketing, and it's like anything else, right? I mean, how many times you hear a song and you go on the radio and you go, "Oh, that's a terrible song," but it's a hit. Well, they have effective marketing. Well, that doesn't really need to be your goal, though. When you get in your 60s, I really want you guys to just have fun at it. Just have fun doing it. And on some of my later videos, I will explain some of the tools that are available to you. Because another thing about 60s, it's also kind of hard to, kind of find a band sometimes. you know, like a lot of your friends. My guitar player was here in 1979, but he's no longer around. You know, well, it's just one of those things, man. But we get older, it's kind of like this chair I'm sitting in. I love this chair. This chair is absolutely, look at this chair. Right? This chair is falling apart. But you know what? I'm just getting ready to get rid of this chair. I've had this chair for so many years. I love this chair. And as old folks are, especially as old men, we'll get in the chair and we'll just keep that chair forever. We don't care. We don't care if it's peeling. We don't care what it looks like. It's a comfortable chair. But this one's kind of shot, right? And that's kind of how we are about our music, too. It's one of the funniest things about the music is I do genre music of basically 70s, like, 60s, 70s type music. And the funniest thing about it is that when you're in your 60s, let's just say a new group comes out and they do a 70s style music. Like one of my favorite new groups is Duran Jones and the Indications. I love people like Mayer Hawthorne, and they do this old style of 70s music. They might do some 80s disco or something like that, right? And the people listen to it and they go, man, that's really hot, man. I love that old school sound, right? What's it's funny that when a young person's doing it, right, it's hip. But when an old guy does it, he's just old. And you don't get credit. You don't get credit for doing the old stuff. And again, I know a lot of people say, man, what is it? Why is it like that? Hey, it's just the way it is. What can you say? Old guys, but we still need to, I don't want to say stay in our lane, but let's be honest. If you're my age, if you're in your 50s, late 50s, early 60s or whatever, right, kind of look kind of stupid out there doing gangster rap, or doing some hard rap. It just doesn't work. It's not authentic. And we don't even use some of the terms that they use. We might drop the odd word, the odd word they use today in there, right? I've done it on my kids before. And they go, Dad, what in the world are you doing? It's not even working. So I kind of stick with the genre. And also, I had a great love for that genre anyway that I do. And it's just great overall. But again, I talked to you about a couple of outlets that you can use. But how do you get this music going, right? Well, a lot of times people also want to be they want to be musicians, which is fine, which is fine. This is more geared toward people who really want to sing and what's available to you as a singer and a couple of pieces of equipment that you can use. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to put a lot of money out there. That's like anything else, though. The more money you put out there, the better your sound's going to be. And but at the same time, always remember, you are never ever going to sound like the record. You don't have $1 million studio at your disposal, but you can still sound pretty good. And there are some tools out there. And again, I will show you in some upcoming videos. Like I'll show you how I made a song from Band in a Box. I know you've ever heard of Band in a Box. Band in a Box is a great tool that you can use to put together songs. And the nice part about Band in a Box is that you can put the song in any key. So if you can't hit those notes, like you used to, right? You can always use Band in a Box and change the key to a better key. And also, you can also use songbooks that you can actually type songs that you like into Band in a Box. Just type the chords of that song in, find a pattern that's closer to that song, and just start singing the song. And again, I have a channel out there, and I did that with a couple of songs that I liked, as far as using Band in a Box and just kind of changing it up a little bit, typing the chords in and playing it. And it actually works pretty good. So again, that's one tool you can use. Another tools that there are other tools that you can use. Like I'm good at using samples. I use royalty-free, quote, quote, royalty-free samples. I use a lot of royalty-free samples. As a matter of fact, if you listen to some of my tracks out there, you will find that all of my tracks are done with royalty-free samples. There's a place called Producer Loops. There's Big Fish Audio, and they have tons and tons of samples out there. You can get a sample library in whatever genre you choose, whether it be soul, R&B, rock, pop, country, classical, whatever it is. There's a genre of tracks out there that you can actually use where you can kind of massage them and put them together into a song of your liking. So again, there is no reason why when you get to be this age, I don't have to go out and try to hire a band of musicians. Plus, musicians are really finicky. I've been in bands before, they don't get along, and the guitar player always want to have a solo that's like 20 minutes long. And of course, the first thing he does when he does it, he turns his amp all the way up, right? So everybody's screaming, oh my God, this guy's so loud, Well, you don't have to deal with any of that. Again, but the only thing about also when you're solo, you don't do as much collaboration with other people, and that can be fun also. So I don't want to take all of the fun out of it, but at the same time, I'm just saying that as to be an independent, and I'm an independent, and you can be an independent also. And you can put tracks out there. And again, are you going to be a star? Is it going to be a major hit? Probably not, But at the same time, if you don't do it, you'll never know. You will never ever know. So you owe it to yourself. If you are a musician, if you always wanted to be a musician, maybe you're retired, or maybe we all, you need a hobby. Again, a lot of guys in their 60s, I don't want you to be relegated to sitting in your chair looking at ESPN or something like that. Do something, try to do something. And if you have those creative juices, there's no reason why, especially today, there's no reason why you can't do that. Because again, I know that a lot of times we find reasons, like I said, I don't have a band, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. Some of the software that's available, if you have a decent computer, is fairly inexpensive. You can actually create good songs at a fairly inexpensive price. You don't have to have a $10,000 microphone. A Tascam makes recording gear, and say the $200-300 range. You can get up to 5 and 6 if you want to, but you can spend a couple of $100 on a good Tascam, a 8-track recorder, and you can do that. Oh, and also another good thing that you can also use is backing tracks. So you can use backing tracks, right? You can go out on the web and you can find backing tracks of your favorite songs, and you can actually download them to a recorder and actually sing the lead vocals. And some of the backing tracks you can not only buy with background vocals, but you can also buy them in different keys. So that's another good tactic that you can use. But I'm just trying to say to you that when you're in your 60s, right, there is no reason why, if you feel like you want to be sing and you want to record, that you can get out there and do that. And there's no reason why you can't distribute it if you feel it's good enough to be distributed. Because again, you never know. You don't. You really don't know. It took me, 2 years to actually just to get on Pandora. SoundCloud's easy. Again, if you're with the right distributor, you'll be on SoundCloud, you'll be on iTunes, you'll be on Amazon, but Pandora has to pick you. And the funniest thing about even then with Pandora picking me and putting me on their system, right? Um, they picked one of the older type 60s type songs. So I guess they knew this guy was old from the Jump Street. So they picked one of those types of songs and they put that song out there. But again, I was grateful that they actually allowed me that platform. Now, do I have a lot of listeners? No. No. Am I blowing up Spotify? No. But then again, and I had to stop and I had to take a look also. Like I said, when you're in your 60s, right? Um, and I'm putting tracks out on Facebook with links to Spotify, and I'm thinking about it afterwards, and I'm going, my audience, um, Grandma is not going to buy a Spotify subscription. It just ain't going to happen. She's not going to do it. Those kids will do it. Yeah, kids will be subscribed to Spotify, but Grandma's not going to have Spotify. A few may, yeah, if somebody buys it for them. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do a whole lot of searching either. They're not going to do that. So that's why I was so happy to actually end up on Pandora because Grandma didn't have to do anything with Pandora, but just play, just type my name, and if she wants to do it, and add me to her playlist. So that was always a good thing, and I had to put things in perspective. Again, SoundCloud, the same way. SoundCloud, um, those are, I don't want to say kids, but those are a younger genres platform. It's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And again, expectations. One of the things about if you do start recording, you need to have some expectations of what you want out of it. Me, I still do it as a hobby. Do I distribute? Yes, and you can do that. Put your stuff out there, distribute it anyway, right? But always maintain it. It is a hobby for you, right? Unless you want to really go. I'm not discouraging you from trying to go. Heads down, flat out, right? But I want you to think about a couple of things. If you do that, um, you probably need to set up an LLC. Uh, you need to be affiliated with ASCAP or BMI, one of the recording services, publishing services. You need to do that. If you're going to do covers, you really are supposed to have permission from the publisher to do covers. Now, TuneCore has a nice feature where they will do the search for you to allow you to do a cover. But you want to do that. And again, and now if you just want to do some tracks and put it out on YouTube or something like that, a lot of people will do that and they'll just disclaim, I do not own the rights to this music or something like that, which is fine, which is fine. But again, there are tons of artists out there today, more than ever before, as far as singers. And again, this is mainly primarily geared toward people who want to sing. It's not really geared toward musicians. Musicians have a knack of being able to pull, their cadre together. But singers a lot of times get lost in the crowd, especially like I said at our age. It's not like we're going to be out and about. It's not like we're going to be hanging out in the clubs, right? I mean, we go to karaoke. We may go to karaoke night, but by 9 o'clock we probably ready to go to bed. It's like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. I'm ready to go home. Now I'm ready to go to sleep. So I want you to think about that, right? And again, just if you're in your 60s and you feel the need to record, go for it, man. Just go for it. I guarantee it's probably going to be one of the greatest experiences that you have because one thing you can always say at the end of the day is that was it. And also, I always tell people this all the time. Hey, the tape was blank when I started, because again, you can have people who are going to hate you. You can have people who are going to love you. You can have people who are going to hate you. And you can have family members that are going to get tired of you. They're going to go, oh my God, here he is posting again. Right? So you're going to have that also, right? But again, some people are going to love you. Some people are going to hate you. Doesn't matter though, because you got to have some thick skin. But if you do, you got to go for it. You got to put your stuff out there. Again, if you like what I'm talking about, subscribe to my channel. And also, again, in the future, I will be going through how I put songs together using backing tracks, how I put songs together using Band in a Box, and how I put songs together just using straight royalty-free samples. Okay, bye-bye.